at home, thank you for joining us for our regular board meeting here at the Pontiac School District. Good evening, those in the audience. Good evening to the individuals on this dais. It is good to be back.
Yes, sir.
In the regular working business of the Pontiac School District. We are now in standing of the secretary. Madam, can you please take roll call?
Trustee Bowman.
Present.
Trustee Kraft.
Present.
Trustee Davis Smith.
Present.
President Garrett.
Present.
VP Gross.
Present.
I'm here, and Treasurer Terry.
Present.
Quorum 7-0.
Oh, we have a quorum. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I need to make pardon me, those at home and in the audience, I need to make a motion to amend the agenda. Ms. Wright, did the attorney? Can you pass that to me real quick? Thank you so much. Under resolution of prospective employee, I would like to put that under the regular working agenda, under discussion as 2AB, and under action as 3AB.
Need a motion?
Need a motion.
So move. Support.
Moved by Trustee Gross and supported by Trustee Terry to add resolution for prospective employee under regular working agenda, discussion item 2AB and action item 3AB. That motion has been set. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes. Trustee
Davis Smith.
Yes.
President Garrett.
Yes.
VP Gross.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
And Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
7-0.
All right, thank you. Need a motion on the floor to approve the agenda as amended, please.
So moved.
So moved by Trustee Bowman, supported by Trustee Terry. Questions, comments, or concerns? Y'all just gonna let me let me amend the agenda like that?
What's up?
All right, good. I appreciate it. Roll call, Madam
Yes,
Secretary.
Trustee Davis Smith.
Yes.
President Garrett.
Yes.
VP Gross.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
And Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
7-0.
7-0. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now that we have a regular working and improved agenda, we're going to move down to one of my favorite topics of our meeting. That's awards and recognition. Superintendent, the meeting is yours.
Thank you. The board has charged administration to continue to celebrate and recognize students and staff across the district. Today, we want to recognize and celebrate our facilities team as well as our custodial and maintenance team. We thank you for all of the hard work you have done, going above and beyond to prepare our schools this year. This was a tall order that you all took on with all of the bond projects taking place. We know that it was very challenging to prepare and make sure that our schools were ready to receive students and staff, and you all stepped up and did it. And with that, the board wants to recognize each and every one of you and celebrate you today and say thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We know that it was very tense and challenging, but you did it. And so that means that you rose to the occasion, and we thank you all for each and everything that you did during this time. And at this time, the president has just a small token of appreciation to each and every one of you. So we're not going to go through each one of the names. Marvin and Rob England, if you want to come up to receive or say a few things, but we have a certificate for each one of you, and it basically reads Certificate of Distinction. This certificate is proudly presented to Robert England and the entire PSD facilities team for going above and beyond for the district. We appreciate all of the hard work over the summer, ensuring that the buildings were ready for the start of the school. Given this 25th day of September 2023 in Pontiac, Michigan, signed by myself and the board president, Gil Garrett.
So at this particular point in time, any comments from the board? And
Yeah, we can, however you want to do it.
Trustee Bowman.
I just want to say thank you all for doing such a good job. It is important to make sure that our community represents who we are, and the way we all came together, you all came together and made sure that our children and all staff had beautiful buildings to return to. It's much appreciated, and I'm still waiting on my facilities jacket. Thank you.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes, I'd like to thank you also for taking care of our baby's place. Okay, I see a lot of you out here. I don't know a lot of names, but I know whenever I come over to the schools, you all guys are always busy, and I like that you guys are dressed in unison and stuff. You make the Phoenix proud.
Madam Secretary.
Thank you. We really do appreciate all the hard work, and we know it's because of the work that you do. Tip, Marv, super appreciate you and your leadership over there. So thank you guys.
Trustee Terry.
Want to say thank you to every one of you. Without your hard work and dedication, none of this would be possible. I know we probably put a lot on your plates over these last few months with all the renovations and everything else, but thank you for your dedication, your hard work and commitment to making this possible to get us to where we are today. So thank you.
Yes, sir.
Madam
Thank you.
VP.
And I'll be brief.
We know what that means.
He's a preacher.
I just want to say to all of you, and I know all of you, and not all the time you're told how well you're doing. And your job, it shows what you're doing. And he hates when I say this, but see, back in the day, see, I'm probably one of the longest tenured actual board members. I've been here since way back. We've never, and I can say never during my tenure, we're talking about the late 90s to the early 2000s, have we ever recognized a crew like this? So that says a lot about what you're doing. And that means a lot. So we wanted you to know how much we appreciate you by showing you. Not just every time I call Marv and say, man, you do a good job, baby. But sometimes you need to be giving your flowers when you're here. And right now, this is what we're doing because we appreciate you. Now, I don't mean because we recognize it, you stop. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are wonderful. We appreciate every one of you. And believe that. It's true.
It is very important in leadership that you have people that you can count on. And so we don't see the students every day. We don't see the teachers every day. You are the front line of who we are. They see you every single day. They see you at your worst. They see you at your best. They see your partners here. They see everything. And so when they're going home talking to parents, it's not always about what the school board is doing or what the superintendent is doing. I saw such and such today, or they helped me with such and such with this today, or I talked to the maintenance person, they helped me with my shirt today, or whatever it could be. Yep. We understand who our foundation is. And so we wanted to start the school year off with our foundation and making sure that you feel appreciated, that you understand that you are appreciated, that your voices are heard loud and clear above all. Because at the end of the day, when this is all said and done, no matter when these seats change or, titles change, you have been consistent and you have stayed the same. So I want to say publicly, I thank you. I'm honored to be in the position that I am in because of you, because I can go and I can talk about all the great things that we're doing, because I know what we have at home and I understand the work that you put in. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure that comes in every single day. And I know it just sits up here like we cast votes and we're not having the conversations. We can apply the pressure because we know the ones that can handle the pressure. And so thank you for doing that. Our partners with Lee Industrial. I don't know, Steve, maybe we got to work out something to get you some purple and black, brother. I mean, it's not that I want to change Lee, but that partnership is an understatement of what you guys have done with us and for us and just for the city as itself. So thank you so much. Your leaders here have something that they want to say, and I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Mr. President and Superintendent. And thank you for the board for empowering us to bring people in-house. I know that was a tall order. And these guys, it's probably the easiest group of people I've ever worked with in the city in over 40 years. They just, I've worked for water, sewer, landfill, the police department, fire, DPW, and I'm telling you, these guys, they know what they're doing, they care. And I think that's something that we lost with our privatization. So I'm really of course, Lee has been a great partner for us. So Marvin Tiff are obviously very easy to work with, and the dedication that they do is just amazing. They take a lot of time away from their families. So I just wanted to say thank you personally. And then, of course, I'll let Marv say he works with the folks a lot closer than I do.
I want to say thank you to guys, but my team know how I feel about our team. We got a wonderful team. We come in here every single day. We dedicate to what we do. We take pride in what we do. We're proud to be a product of Pontiac schools. We wear this black and purple every day with pride, and we come and we show it every single day. So I want to say thank you to guys for letting our team know that you appreciate everything we've done. And we work hard. We continue to work hard. We really appreciate this. So thank you so much. And also thank my team. I really appreciate all of them.
The board was asking if it's possible a 5-minute break to take a picture.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, Frank. We'll be up 5 minutes. Okay.
If we can all come up front.
Just come up front.
Everybody come up front. Come on up.
Why you acting like you don't know what you're saying?
She was over here. There she go. She up there.
She up there. She there.
Thank you, Mr. Frank. Thank you for those at home for staying with us. And again, this is a special moment that we take out during every board meeting, that we're going to do for the regular board meeting to recognize people who are doing great things in our district, students who are doing great things in our district, and we're going to continue to do that throughout the work here in the school year, so people can see, that the community also can see the folks who do the heavy lifting, right? And so thank you for allowing us that time and that space. And again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook page so you know all of the information and details that we are gathering on your behalf as the Pontiac School District. We're going to move down to recognition of elected officials. Any elected officials in the audience right now? Okay. We don't have any elected officials. Any elected officials outside? No, we don't have any elected officials outside, but we do have 6 elected officials on this dais. Good evening. How y'all doing?
Good evening, Mr. President.
Oh, I am elected. You're right. 7. Thank you so much for recognizing that, Trustee Bowman. Sometimes I forget. Maybe. We'll move down to consent agenda. I don't need a move in support for that. Madam Secretary, roll call.
President Garrett,
Yes.
VP Gross.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
Trustee Bowman,
Yes.
Trustee Kraft,
Yes.
and Trustee Davis Smith.
Yes.
7-0 for the consent.
All right. Thank you. Consent agenda has been approved. We're going to move down to information from Superintendent Administration. I know we don't have anything under the reports discussion or action, but I still want to yield to the superintendent if you have anything that you want to say.
I do want to bring the attention to the board that we received a check from consumers from our energy efficiency program.
I knew it.
It was $34,000. We are anticipating some additional dollars for WHRC as well as Pontiac High School, which will total approximately $100,000 this year coming back to the district. I do want to personally thank John Stoner for helping to facilitate this program in the district. And it has been definitely a profitable approach that we have taken in making sure that we are doing our energy saving and getting return back in the finance.
Okay. Thank you, Superintendent. I appreciate that. We're going to move down to regular work and agenda, discussion items, supervisor-employee relationship policy. This is considered the second reading because we have taken it under consideration for the first.
Yes.
And so this is considered for the second reading. I now turn it over to the Attorney Seeger.
Yes.
Okay, to read the bear. Thank you.
Yes. The school district of the city of Pontiac is a large and complex organization employing hundreds of highly valued staff members. Intimate relationships may exist between some employees, either prior to the commencement of the employment relationship or may develop after employment begins. The presence of intimate relationships is complicated when those relationships exist or develop between supervisors and supervisees. In addressing the intimate relationships in the work environment, the district is guided by its core values and principles. Most importantly, the district will maintain a workplace that is inclusive and free from abuse of power, coercion, sexually harassing conduct, and favoritism. Such conduct will not be tolerated. With these principles in mind, the Board of Education would like to adopt the attached Supervisor-Employee Relationships Policy. Nothing in this policy shall be deemed as supplanting or otherwise affecting the district's discrimination and harassment policies. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the attached Supervisor-Employee Relationships Policy.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. The board has reviewed the policies. You had it in your board packet. We've had several discussions around it. Thank you again for Attorney Seeger for drafting the policy and making sure that we're in a great standing. So we're going to move down to action item, approval of the supervisor-employee relationship policy. Need a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Trustee Bowman.
Support.
Supported by Trustee Terry. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call, please.
VP Gross,
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
Trustee Bowman,
Yes.
Trustee Kraft,
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith,
Yes.
and President Garrett.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
All right, thank you. We're going to move down to discussion and action item of resolution for prospective employee. Attorney Seeger, if you mind with the bear.
Yes. Employee 2813, which is the last four digits of their phone number, has criminal convictions that may bar him from serving as an employee for the Pontiac School District. In order to provide services to the district, the superintendent and Board of Education need to approve the employee's relationship with the Pontiac School District in writing pursuant to MCL 380.1230 and Board Policy 4121.02. The superintendent has recommended in writing that employee 2813 be permitted to provide services to the district. It is the recommendation of administration to the Board of Education resolve to allow prospective employee 2813 to provide services to the Pontiac School District.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, comments to the board? Okay, I do have a comment. I'm very grateful for the ability to make sure that we do our due diligence.
Yes.
I am grateful that we have an administration that clearly understands that life happens. No one is perfect. And we don't want to always assume people are. I want to thank the people who have braved the task of making sure that, hey, they want to be employed by the school district, so they want to go before the board. They have no problem saying, hey, this is what happened. This is what took place. I'm not a person who runs from any opportunity to give anybody a chance. And it's not, I take it lightly with our children. But when you show me that your love for our kids is worth your dedication, and that's what it does when you say, hey, I can go before you and I know I'm in good standings and I can make this commitment to the Pontiac School District. That means more to me than anything else. And so with that being said, I call for a motion of the resolution for resolution for prospective employee.
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Gross,
Support.
supported by Trustee Bowman. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call.
I'm voting yes. Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
Trustee Bowman,
Yes.
Trustee Kraft,
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith,
Yes.
President Garrett,
Yes,
MVP Gross.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
pass 7-0. Thank you so much, board, for passing that
Thank you.
resolution. Finance item report, going to monthly financial report. Superintendent, the meeting is yours.
Thank you. At this time, I will defer to our Assistant Superintendent for Business Office, Mr. Basili.
Okay, so here we have our monthly financial presentation. The first chart is the rolling cash flow of our general fund. So at the top, we have our beginning cash investments at $16.8 million. At the bottom, our ending cash investments as of August 31st, $16.2 million. So pretty stable, pretty healthy financial position or cash position. One item to note is the TAN payments here, $5.18 million. That's the biggest expenditure we have. That's our tax anticipation note that we're paying down. It was $11 million last year. It's $8.5 million this year. But other than that, everything is pretty stable in that area, and we're in a healthy cash position in the general fund. Our next graph here is two bar graphs. One with the monthly cash flow with our tax anticipation note, the bottom without the note. So basically, the key thing to look at here is your green bar, which is your most recent fiscal year at the top, is higher than your blue and red bars, which is your previous fiscal years. So what that means is that our cash position is getting better each year since that green bar is higher than the blue and the red ones. And at the bottom, it's showing what we would be like without the tax anticipation note. Not as high as obviously with it, but still in positive territory, which is good. So overall, our cash flow situation is definitely improved each year and getting better so that we'll start weaning ourselves off the tax anticipation note and be in a much stronger cash flow position. Next is two pie charts, general fund revenues. The left is our fiscal year to date, which is July and August. Then the one on the right is just August. So basically it's all in blue because all we're getting at this early point of the year is property tax revenue. Our state aid doesn't come through until October, grants and so forth will start trickling in after September, but pretty much everything is property taxes as of right now. Next graph is, again, two more pie charts. This time it's general fund expenditures. Pretty much the composition is what we expect this time of the year. The thing to point out on the right is that orange area that's shaded here. That's debt service. That's the $5.1 million tax anticipation note. That's the biggest part of our expenditure so far. But obviously it's early in the year, and our salaries, benefits, and so forth will kick in September. But that's pretty much what we'd expect at this point of the year. And then we have here our general fund budget to actual. So the first column is our current budget for fiscal year 24, what we adopted back in May. As you see, total revenues, $111 million, and then total expenditures about the same. So we're expecting to be break even as of May. And that's based on the May assumptions. Now that's definitely changes as we go along. It's been 4 months. We have new facts. We have a new state funding package. But that's what we were budgeting for, is $239,000. Beginning fund balance that we had budgeted at $13.7 million. Per the audit, it looks like that's going to be a little bit better. We're going to have the audit report October 23rd, but it looks like we're in better shape than we had budgeted for, which is a good thing. Yes, you got it. That beginning fund balance is at 12.3% of general fund expenditures. The reason I mentioned that is because you want to be in double digits in your fund balance percentage for cash flow purposes. That way you don't have to borrow for a state aid note or a tax anticipation note, and you're in a much better position if there's economic downturns and things like that. So that's good. So we'll at least be at 12.3% and probably higher after the audit comes out. In terms of year to date, the two columns on the far right, the only thing that's of note there is local revenues, a little behind where we were last year because of property tax collections, but that's just a timing difference. It doesn't mean anything to do with revenues or net income situation. It's just when we get the tax money in from the municipalities or the banks. Everything else, expenditures pretty much running to trend year to date, and everything looks pretty good at this point of the year. Food service, minimal activity at this point. Very early, we budgeted for a surplus of about $30,000. That's something that we'll be looking at to try to improve and make operations more efficient, effective for our students. But nothing really of note there so far at this early point in the year. And then we have our sinking fund rolling cash flow. So again, at the top here, at the far right, August 1st would be at $6.2 million in cash investments. Any cash investments as of August 31st would be at $7.5 million. So again, we're improving there. It's a good, stable cash position. The only item of note I would say is the science labs at the middle school and high school. That's where we're spending most of our expenditures in the sinking fund. We focused on that in the first 2 months of this fiscal year. But other than that, a very strong position. And again, the sinking fund is going to run through July of 2025. It's a 0.8 mil property tax levy, about $3 million per year that we receive for non-recurring repairs and projects. Then we get into our bond, Series 1. So this series is winding down, as you know. The key column to look at is on the far right in terms of what our revenues are budgeted for. $114 million, expenditures $113 million. So as of right now, we have a surplus of $800,000 for Series 1 that would roll over into Series 2 and 3. Now, we do have contingency built in of about $4.2 million. It's about 23% of expenditures if these projects run over budget. So if that's the case, we'd have a shortfall of about $3.4 million, which would again run through into Series 2 and 3. But that's something that we will deal with when we get to that point in terms of modifying projects and making decisions in that area. In terms of the revenues, the bond proceeds, obviously $104 million for Series 1. We had a big chunk of ESSER's money come in that we used, about $8.6 million. Interest expense was interest income was a nice benefit because of rising interest rates. We got about $1 million there. And most of our expenses in Series 1 were spent on the WHRC, Pontiac Middle School, and Pontiac High School. And Series 2 and 3 that we get into, so the The key column here is column 4, revised bond program. So we're just going through what our budget is. Bond proceeds from Series 2 is 25 million. From Series 3 is 18 million, and we're getting some sinking fund money in there too of 11 million. Our total bond proceeds, as we know, is 147 million spread between the 3 bond issues. If we go to the bottom, expenditures, so far the budget is at $64 million. So that does represent a shortfall of about 9.5 million. But again, this is where we'll make our adjustments and modifications as we go along, deciding which projects to curtail or add or get more revenue potential. And finally, our other information here. So fiscal year 22-23 audit will be presented to the board by Yo and Yo on October 23rd. Again, as of now, no audit findings, which is great news. I think the first time we had that in a few years. And our net income and beginning fund balance expect to be higher than budget. That's also great news. So overall, we're trending upwards from what I'm seeing so far here. Emergency purchases, we've had none so far in this month. And that's all I had. So any questions?
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Mr. Treasurer, you have any questions? You don't have to.
Just one question, because I just noticed this one. But when we're doing the bond 2020, the series 2 and 3, I know we probably don't need it now, but eventually, can we add in that additional column regarding the contingency to make sure that that's captured as well? Maybe that number can probably be adjusted a little bit, but just to have that captured in there as far as those contingencies, because if I'm correct, I believe we moved that up to like 20%.
Yeah.
So just to have that captured, nothing, no emergency, but just to reflect that also with the numbers.
Yeah, no, I think we haven't started quite down to this. That's why we haven't added it, but it'll be added in.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, sir. We want to move down to the bond presentation update.
Come on down.
Superintendent Williams, President Garrett, members of the board, community, everyone in attendance, good evening.
Good evening.
So, it's good to see everybody. Starting with our bond presentation from our last one. Here's our placement that we provide everybody that gives all the dates of what's completed, substantially complete, and in progress. The second part of it, which is the backside of that document we provide, gives you timelines of documents received from the architect, IDS, when we'll put documents together. And it's just really a tentative date showing you the sequence of events that need to happen to put things out for bid once we receive a go, no go. And with our substantial completion dates, looking at upgrades, what we've had since the last update, this is the multi-purpose room at WHRC. That is the last piece that needed to really be finished. That is, I'd say 90% complete. They have all the railing up and installed. The piece that is not installed is what was added this summer. So that railing takes like 12 to 14 weeks to get, sometimes 10. It's a very long lead. So the pieces that were added again this summer, beyond what was in the bid documents, we're still waiting for those pieces. However, it looks great up there. I believe the orange fence is gone. It should be up at this point. Place looks great. Oh, just also some other bid packages like the middle school. We didn't want to just keep going over what you've already seen is complete. So we took that out of the presentation. Bid pack 13 infrastructure upgrades, very busy summer. Again, congratulations, facilities team. We couldn't have been successful without their partnership in getting these buildings where they needed to be for start of school. It was very busy, a lot of hours, a lot of stress. So place looks great. It is basically looking at the first document that we looked at with the dates. We are where we knew we would be today. We are continuing to work through the fall. There is the cafeteria that is being completed by December 31st. There is also the bid pack 30 gym upgrades, which is the second part of the gym upgrades that's scheduled for October 15th per the bid documents. And we also have, what other one do we have, Kim? I think that's it. There was an add to the wrestling and weight room. The weight room and the training room was in a bulletin that was approved sometime in August. So that is underway as well. So we have all that going on in progress, all complete by December 31st. Here's some pictures of what was completed over the summer. The flooring, Marvin did a great job years ago getting installed, but all new lighting upgrades, all new ceilings. Painting is underway. I know there's been some adjustments, but that is in progress. And if we continue, that's the hallways. Those are the beautiful clouds. They call those ceilings clouds, where they're kind of floating in the air, hanging from some suspended wires. Some classrooms look great. New lockers, the band room.
That's the band room?
If you go back, yes, that's one of the band rooms to the right. And that space, the nice part is that space has heating and cooling that's already functioning. We're getting cooling online in some other spaces, as we discussed in previous meetings. This is the overflow cafeteria. I believe that's what they call the space. All new mechanical upgrades. The other overflow space, I think they call it team homeroom in the drawings. I'm not too sure. I think we call it cafeteria overflow. That is the wrestling room on the left. So all new, that brand new mechanical system. I know a lot of wrestling coaches like it hot for training. They had to make weight, but that's all hooked up to the, that'll be cooling and hooked up to the system. And that's the North Athletic on the right. Toilet room renovations, all upgrades. As we discussed in previous board meetings, end of school, we have toilet rooms up and we're still doing them. Right now I have staff working at night. I believe Tom Harvey's working, one of our superintendents on second shift, working on getting additional toilet rooms throughout the weeks, getting two more, then two more, and just keep getting them more and more opened up. Science labs. When I first came to this district, your science labs did not, it needed major renovations. I don't believe you had cabinets. There was plywood structures built over the piping, the major upgrade. It looks very similar to it looks almost identical to the middle school. A little bit, functions a little different, but the floor is very similar with the Pontiac purple. It looks great in that space in those two science labs that were renovated. This is part of the gym interior upgrade project. That is concessions. That's your overhead fire coiling door. I believe the next one shows the equipment from a different angle. So that's your concessions. That was added to the part of Bid Pack 30. That is scheduled to be complete October 15th, as discussed. That is the map that we've been living off of for the last 8 months, a year. But that is all our timelines for everything. Now, talking projects that have been awarded and future projects coming up. So we already know in previous board meetings at Bid Pack 32 and 35, we did have the pre-purchase of the mechanical electrical equipment as well as the fire alarm equipment. So that has already been purchased because it's long lead, and it's the procurement process is in progress, making sure we're ordering, the architects reviewing what's going to get ordered, and making sure that everything gets ordered in time so we can, if it's a 10-month lead, we can make sure we're getting it in time for construction. On the infrastructure design portion, we did have in the original placemat from the first two slides, actually second and third slide, Rogers. Those are the two dates that we're receiving documents as of right now from IDS. Rogers infrastructure, so the construction renovation is scheduled for October 5th. Harrington is scheduled for November 2nd. Going to the timelines that we established in this placemat, this is the procurement, the process of everything. So if we receive documents on the 5th, we would start our preparation on the 6th and create a plan on how we're going to be successful and how we're putting this job out for bid to the public. Then that would, if you can go back, sorry. Then at that point, we would be at the point of board approval, which I know at this point, everything's on a stand, everything's at stop. But hypothetically, with the dates we have, this would put us at 10/23 for board approval that we can proceed bidding the project out. Then the job would be issued out for bid to the public on the 24th, giving enough time for bidders, unless we need to do an extension, which is a potential. The bid opening would be on the 9th. The 11th would be our post-bid review with all the team to review the documents. And then tentatively, the contract approval for this project would be the 20th of November board meeting. And then the contracts would be issued on the 21st of November. And then we can start our submittal process, which takes time to get material ordered, even beyond the mechanical equipment package. And then we would look at doing pull-ahead work this spring, and then construction as well in summer, and probably into the fall as well. which would be part of that strategic part we'd be doing in October when we build the plan. Looking at Harrington, the same dates, same process. When we receive documents, board approval would be the 20th if it went out for bid. Saying to put it out for bid, we would be issuing contracts on January 9th. And then that would allow us to do our pull ahead work, to do spring, summer, and fall work. That is our bond. This is for all the projects in blue and light blue, on how we have everything sequenced. What I do want to just talk about, going back to the other slide, is depending when these jobs go out for bid could impact the schedule of this project. It could also impact ESSER, because ESSER funds, we purchase material for the job through the mechanical and electrical project. That material, I'll check with Diane, but I believe that material has to be in place by September, end of September of next year. That means construction needs to happen and that equipment needs to be set and in place to receive the ESSER funding. If it is not set in place, we're potentially in trouble of not receiving those funds. And again, that is something we will continue to discuss with Diane in our Wednesday meetings and the team. But ESSER could be potentially a problem if we don't get this material set in place by end of September. Doesn't mean the project's done. It could be new rooftop units set in place and the mechanical equipment installed. In addition, there's a bidding window that typically right now the bidding window used to be till end of February. That was when you want to get projects out. March was pushing it. These days, if you don't get a project out by December, you're getting to a point where when you're losing bidders because they're already booking up their summer. So depending where we decide, and I know there's some items that need to be reviewed to determine if we're going to go forward, but it's something that we really need to look at over the next months because it could have a major impact where we're not doing any. One is the ESSER, and the strategic plan may be that this is going to then be a fall of next year at this time start, fall, winter, spring, summer, which is doable as well. But I just want to lay everything out of the concerns that we have if we're pushing it out, losing the bidding window, and we're just, as everyone understands, with the ESSER as well. That is the bond timeline for all the projects. And then there's a contingency update that we work with the team. Welcome to the team. I know we work with Jim a lot on these items, just making sure we're looking at contingency and how we're spending, making sure we're spending responsibly and not spending it all if possible. So, and thank you. That's my update. And it's been a busy summer. On a personal side, it's been a busy summer for me. We had this summer project. I think I lost a little more hair on the sides. I got married in early September, and I had a birthday, and I also turned 49, and I had my 30-year anniversary with Bart Mello. So it's been a busy month. So it's good to see everybody. So, any questions?
Any questions from the board?
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
Just a quick update as it pertains to our gym with the damage and where we are. I was told some changes.
As of, go ahead.
Any updates?
I'll speak to that. We will be sending out a memo
Thank you.
tomorrow, giving you an update in regards to how we're moving forward
Perfect.
with the SME findings and how it will be paid for. So that discussion has taken place and we have some information to share
I'll
with the
wait
board
till
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Trustee Terry?
In regards to the projects that are in the works and the ones, I guess, that are substantially complete, can we, for the ones that are substantially complete, can we get an updated punch list to see exactly where we are and just kind of review those items? I just don't want those really to drag out as long as they really need to be. So if there's anything maybe we can assist on getting some of those completed sooner than later, to get some of those projects closed out. Notice a lot of those projects I think we got on here in regards to the contingency update that you did show. They're kind of been open for a while. So if there's anything we can do on our end, please let us know.
Okay, appreciate that. We can get that list to you. I know the middle school had a lot of items. I don't want to go with percentages, but middle school's winding down with the punch list. And we'll follow up. I think the team did some follow up on the ones that you're referring to on there, so we can have an update for you on that.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? All right. Here now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We're going to move down to general counsel, school resource officer contract renewal. Superintendent, that's yours, and Mr. Seeger.
Thank you. I will defer to Bureau Seegers. We are excited to be able to offer this program for the Pontiac School District to ensure that our students and staff are in a safe environment. Adding this addition with our Sheriff's Department partnership is essential. We know the concerns across the nation as it relates to safety within school districts, and we are excited to be able to bring this before the board and continue our partnership with the Sheriff's Department. I'll turn it over to Daryl.
Thank
Good
you.
evening. The objective of placing a school resource officer in the district schools is to foster a safe, supportive learning environment for all students and to promote a strong partnership and communication between school administration and law enforcement. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office will place one or more SROs to provide law enforcement services on school premises. The SRO will be a sworn Oakland County Sheriff's deputy. The district will ensure that staff communicates and cooperates with the SRO and would hold regular meetings at mutually agreeable intervals with the SROs and key district staff to discuss topics relevant to providing law enforcement services under this agreement. The district will advise Oakland County Sheriff Office if there are any other meetings that it desires the SRO to attend and or participate in. The district will include the SRO in all threat assessments and, as applicable, to inquire about students' access to dangerous instrumentalities and firearms, behavioral assessments involving suicidal ideation, suicidal behavior, or belief to harm to self or others. It is the recommendation of administration that the Board of Education approve the agreement for the school resource officer with the Oakland County Sheriff's Office for a not to exceed amount of $331,870.
Includes costs.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any questions from the board?
Just comment?
Comments?
Just one. Thank you for getting this done in a timely fashion and bringing them on because we know how necessary this is. However, I've had a history of growing up where there were police officers in the school, and they have I think, a true effect with some of our children there because we were able to establish relationships with them, which gave us a better relationship with the officers. And the two that we have now, hoping that they will continue, I think are excellent young men because of the relationship they established with everyone in the district. And I just talked to the president. This will have two, correct?
Yes, correct.
Thank you. And thank you for getting this prepared and done. Thank you, Superintendent. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Any other comments? Okay, I just want to put this on record that I'll be abstaining from this contract because if one SRO goes sick, because I am the certified SRO for the Pontiac substation, I will be there. So I keep them young men healthy so I don't have to do 3 jobs.
Right.
Okay. Need a motion on the floor to accept the contract and recommendation.
So moved.
Support.
So moved by trustee Bowman, supported by trustee Gross. Comments, questions, or concerns to the motion? Hearing none, roll call.
Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
trustee Bowman,
Yes.
trustee Kraft,
Yes.
trustee Davis Smith,
Yes.
President Garrett, VP
Abstain.
Gross. Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
All right. VP Gross.
Yes.
And I'm voting yes. 6-0.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. We're gonna move down to communications, petitions, and delegations. VP?
None at all, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Board comments and announcements. Trustee Kraft.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Kind of caught me off guard, but I'm here. I like to actually thank our workers that was here that was just awarded, for taking care of our schools and just keeping them clean. And, I know it's hard work at times for you, but like I said, I want to appreciate you again for that. And I also like to thank our board members. We had a conference and a CUBE conference in Chicago this past last week. And I'm proud of our president when he actually led the whole conference. And our board was there and we represented Pontiac well. And that's what I have to say. Great time in Chicago. I learned a lot. and brought it back here and stuff. So you'll see the results pretty soon.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Trustee Bowman.
Just want to acknowledge my colleagues and the administration. I'm grateful for the fact that we are taking a real strong stand on mental health here in the Pontiac School District. There are plenty of entities around the community. We appreciate the invite, but we got this over here. So thank you for looking out for the community, and I'm glad that our community is all on board, that mental health is important. So I hope that we can all continue to work together and spotlight the importance of mental health services and working together as a community. So thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you, Trustee Bowman. Trustee Shaquana Davis-Smith.
Hi, I don't have much to say tonight, but it was a great meeting as always. And I want to also congratulate our staff again. They always do an excellent job. So I'm glad we were able to spotlight them tonight. And I'm glad that we're just still moving on the right track to becoming great Phoenix Pride Nation. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Trustee Terry. Mr. Treasurer.
Good evening.
evening,
Just
sir.
want to say thanks again to the facility and all of your team's hard work and everything that you do here at the district. I want to say keep it up, and looking forward to more beautiful things that come out of these school districts. So thank you. I want to say superintendent and your staff, I want to say thank you as well for all the hard work and stuff that you do. Couldn't do it without you guys. So just want to say thank you very much, and everything that you do to help us out to make sure that we're able to do the best that we can and continue to push the Pontiac School District forward. I want to say once again, thank you for the reports. Good information, definitely good information to share. It's good to see that we're still moving forward with our projects as well, and financially still looking strong. So let's continue that moving forward. And on an end note, I just want to say this is Spirit Week. So if you can get out there, participate in some of the activities and everything. And we do have that homecoming game this Saturday. So I'm not going to steal Anisha's thunder. She can provide more details, but get out there. Let's celebrate. And for all of those, let's go. Let's go, Phoenix. Let's get this win. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Madam Secretary, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you. Thank you, Treasurer Terry. Again, congratulations to the facilities department. We really do appreciate Marv and Tiffany, the leadership that you give to that team. And yes, to piggyback on Treasurer Terry's comments, this is Spirit Week. Pontiac High School is celebrating Homecoming Spirit Week this week, and so is the Pontiac community. On behalf of the Alumni Foundation, this week we've tagged it to be the Pontiac Alumni Homecoming Spirit Week in the city. So there are different activities that are taking place daily. Starting tomorrow, there will be a scavenger hunt. So if anyone is interested in participating in a scavenger hunt throughout the city of Pontiac, please view our social media and website for more instructions on that. Wednesday, we're inviting all of the community to tour the Pontiac Transportation Museum. They are doing some exciting upgrades and renovations to the museum. So we would love for you to come over and learn more about the history of the Pontiac and the automotives. Then on Thursday, we are excited to have our ribbon cutting of the brick fundraiser that many of you have probably seen that will be at the Pontiac High School. It's at Thursday noon. We will be unveiling the bricks that our alumni have purchased to celebrate and to support our high school students in scholarship. And then on Friday, the Alumni Foundation is hosting a reception event, which will be at 6:30 p.m. at the Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church off of University Drive. So we're excited for the high school. We definitely want another win from our football team. So we're looking forward to attending that game on Saturday. But we really would love for the community to come out and engage and just renew that school spirit that Pontiac has always had. And I think that's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Vice President.
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening,
I think
sir.
I'm gonna stall for another 10 minutes. He's trying to beat my record. I got us out at 7:07, so he's trying to beat that record. So we got 12 minutes. No. What an excellent meeting. Great time. And I love it when recognition is given what it's supposed to be. Appreciate all you do. Continue to do. And I'm sure our kids appreciate it. And you can see the difference in our kids' attitudes about where they are. I had the opportunity to go over to the middle school, and we went over there for a visit, and the teachers were happy. Oh, thank you for the class. Oh, the classroom was wonderful. It's just beautiful. And then I went over there to see the children. Wow. And I love the way they had everything is in order. And that bell ring, they're in the hallway. A minute before that bell ring, they're in the classrooms. So by the time that bell rings, the halls are clear. And the kids are smiling, laughing. I even saw a couple of the kids that I went to the baseball game with. Hey, that's the baseball guy right there. Oh, and they came over and gave me a hug. And just to see the happy faces. And that shows what it is we're doing. Because they take pride in that. They take ownership in that. Because it's theirs. They can brag about their schools. And I love it. So let's keep doing what we're doing. And the president and I have been talking, and although, we may have other things to do, we're going to go back out to the community and talk about some things so we can finish what we started. And I appreciate you, Sue, and the job that everybody is doing. And let's keep it up. And this board, proud of you. That time we had, and I tell people we had a great time. And they say, you had fun? I said, yeah, but it was educational fun, not party fun. Educational. And wow. And I even got involved in some dancing, man. We had a good time. And he videotaped it, but it was at a general session. And I'm proud of our president and how he was able to do what he did, but he did it nationally. And I was inspired by your general session. And you can see the faces of those who were there, how inspired they were. And I'm proud of him and what he did, what he's doing. And he's going to serve to 2025, right?
Yes, sir.
And we'll continue to support. So let's keep doing that. Listen, we're nationally known now, Sue.
That's right.
And that means a lot.
That means a lot.
And so we made some excellent relationships, and we had a great meeting and fellowship with the Ferguson group. You guys know Ferguson, Missouri, and the incident occurred there and what they're doing. And we're now partners with them. And so some things that we're going to do. And we'll bring that information back once we, get together. But it says a lot. And they're committed to do whatever they need to do for Pontiac, because they've made some great changes. We appreciate that. And we just saw the love for Pontiac at these conferences. So let's keep doing what we're doing. I'm very proud of all of us. And so we're going to invite you, a couple of them. Come on down with us.
All right.
All right. Appreciate you. Bless you all and have a wonderful night. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. It's very important to me that teammates have just as much success as I do. I take it very personal, and I make sure that I hold myself to a higher standard and that I'm accountable for my actions. And so this is not easy, but this is what I want. This is what I've always wanted, to be able to allow people to see the same thing that I see in Pontiac when I first got here. And so I will continue to do that. I will continue to uplift. I am a trust and inspire leader. That is my style. That is what I do. But I hold myself accountable first. And so in that, I will always make sure I'm the first one through the door. And I will always make sure that I can answer any question that is thrown our way. And I want to make sure that we are out of the deficit mindset into asset.
Amen.
That takes time. That takes change. I am very transparent of who I am. I will continue to be that. And I cannot be where I'm at without each and every last one of you who continue to support me, who continue to call, because this is not easy when you have to change your mindset and you're going up against something that's deciding to, let's just say, don't want change. But we have changed. We have made the pivot. We're leading the conversation as we've always had in the past. And now we're leading it now. And we want to stay there. I think we have what it takes to continue to do that. And I'm just very appreciative of each and every last one of you. And thank you to facilities again for making sure that our children walk in, because at the end of the day, when they see it, and that's that first look, that's what matters, and how they feel about that. I'm first one to tell you, I don't think buildings don't educate children, but it sure doesn't make it easy when you got a good place where you can learn, and it's clean, and it's for you, and and you can say it's ours, right? And so again, thank you for allowing me to lead. I appreciate each and every moment that y'all give me to do so. Need a motion on the floor to close this meeting.
So moved.
So moved by the Vice President, supported by Trustee Bowman. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith.
Yes.
President Garrett.
Yes.
VP Gross.
Yes.
I'm voting yes, and Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
Then we adjourn at 7:01 p.m. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook page. Look it out for Instagram as well. YouTube coming in the fall. Podcast is available shortly, about the next 30 days. I'm looking forward to doing everything we can to bring you all the good news and wonderful news that's happening here in Pontiac School District. And thank you for trusting us. Phoenix Nation, let's wrap this win up on Saturday. Understand that. So Phoenix Nation is alive and well. Trust the process. Leaders lead, and we are stronger together. Have a good night.
We started at 5:01.